universities social terrorists, because I think it is accurate to call them as such. I think that phrase was first used, the first place I heard it at least, was Louis Levi. I think it was berating Cole, saying, yeah, you're not being hard enough. Social justice warriors, it's not going to do it. You call them what they are, terrorists. And they're standing up to their name, at least in the UK. So let's go for this one. So this guy hid his tweets before the stream, so I had to go and get the archive. The internet never forgets, my friend. Don't bother trying. Anyway, so we have here, this is Francisco over here, who describes himself as a historian at Sussex University. Feminism, queer, empathy, compassion. Empathy and compassion. Feminist, queer. Right, okay. He's also, of course, as I said, an historian at Sussex University. This isn't even a rando. This is a guy who was employed by the university. That's what he had to say. So he put out a bunch of signs that were put up around the university. I'm just going to read out the signs first. And the signs say, Kathleen Stock makes trans students feel unsafe. Sussex still pays her. It's not a debate. It's not feminism. It's not philosophy. It's just transphobia. And it's not on. Fire Kathleen Stock. And then the last one here being, as you can see, a little anarcho-communist flag with a snake on it. The traditional one from the Don't Step on Me, except it has the caption, what is it? We are only safe together.
And a snake could endorse that, right?
It's such a bastardization of the Gadsden flag, though.
Yeah.
You know, don't step on me. Like, no, I need everyone together, or we're not safe. Literally, like collectivism embodied there. And as you can see, the snake in the trans colors, because collectivist, trans, anarcho-communist community. Right. Okay. So in here, he decides to write, today, en route to work at Sussex University, security rushed to remove them at 8 a.m. I agree with the posters. That's not feminism. Someone who debates the validity of trans lives by starting their essay with the words, let's do a thought experiment, is not a philosopher either. You mean where? So this guy is super mad that this woman on campus has said that women are women. Her position. And that's verboten. Can't have that on campus, can we?
Nope.
That's you not even doing philosophy. That's just you trying to hate trans people. Rightio. But also the idea that you can't be a philosopher if you ever use the terms, let's do a thought experiment. Idiot. Anyway, so he carries on. Just a populist use of philosophy as a discourse to legitimize ignorance. It's not ignorance. I feel like you're the ones who are ignorant of biology. It doesn't feel right to wish a colleague should be fired. They don't. But it's not been right for colleagues working in the same school to be afraid to talk about stock for fear of litigation. This is shameful. So you think she's going to sue you because you're going to claim something that's untrue. Because they sued you and you didn't claim something untrue, she wouldn't win. And she'd have to pay the costs. That's British law.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he continues, the virulent and oppressive implication of Stock's public speaking about gender have made many people unsafe at the university and beyond. I salute these posters and an expression of resistance, intelligence, and solidarity, transgender flag. I was like, okay, rightio. I again, with the wokeism, just retake class struggle, replace it with, let's say, trans on this one, and now it's trans comrades versus non-trans comrades. I was like, people are pathetic. Anyway, but he put this up, and the thing in my mind is he didn't run across those posters. He's saying security took those down. I think he might have been implicated. In my experience of university politics, usually the lecturers, as you can see with his bias here, he is very much in favor of this. And I think he knew about those posters. It's probably with the people putting them up, took the pictures, and was like, oh no, security took them down, but don't worry, I've got the photos. Because if they took them down so fast, how did you get the photos, my friend? Anyway, moving on, the group itself, the group has decided to claim it's a bunch of terrorists, which is interesting. So this individual, as you can see, trying to respond to him, but he's tried to run away. And they have just the Instagram posts. And if we can go on these images, the first Instagram post is the group claiming responsibility for trying to terrorize this lecturer out of university because she's a bad woman. And you can see them there, stock out, bunch of smoke going off because loser. I mean, what are you doing with your life? Get a job, you hippie. Anyway, if we go to the next image here, we have their writing in here. And I cut it down because for the sake of time, but we're going to read what I think are the best bits. So they write, Stock is one of this wretched island's most prominent transphobes. Congratulations. I love the idea, like, yep, you out of everyone on the planet, you're okay. Also, the wretched island, of course, they hate Britain because they always do. Espousing a bastardized variation of radical feminism, in quotes, because they don't.
A feminism that acknowledges the legitimacy of biological sex.
Yes. That excludes and endangers trans people. Doesn't endanger them. Literally saying words, not hurting anyone.
No.
Is not changing the law, doing literally nothing. But no, that endangers trans people because someone might disagree and that's going to cause harm. She has spent years campaigning for the exclusion of trans people from women-only spaces. Again, women-only spaces in quotes. I have to ask what those are, because, of course, they never define what a woman is, except from what you define it as I want to be. And I remember the segment we did a little while back about the people harassing that Democratic congresswoman in the bathroom and being like, yeah, this is a public space. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so moving on from that, they say that she's upset because she wants the female bathrooms to be with women, and against trans and non-binary people's right to self-identify as any gender. They can do it all they want. It's just if anyone believes them. Transphobes like Stock are anti-feminist, anti-queer, and anti-intellectual.
Anti-intellectual.
Just the first one being just she's a heretic. The last one, anti-intellectual. Why? Because she disagrees.
Yeah.
But okay. Like, if I have a debate with you and you disagree with me, you're anti-intellectual, I'm shutting this debate down. I'm not the anti-intellectual for saying that we can't have debates anymore because we have the revealed truth. They're spiteful bootlickers. Again, with the bootlicking, you should... I love how leftists always talk like this, about like, you're the bad guy because you're licking the boot. You should be in the boot, stamping on someone's face instead.
Yeah.
That's how I always think about it. With Stock alone spitting out years' worth of tweets, articles, and organising that makes her distaste for our existence abundantly clear.
Oh, dear God.
Who cares what she thinks?
It's quite funny how these lobbyists seem to collapse their entire personhood into an abstract identity, almost as if it quite literally poses a threat to their life.
Yes. If you don't believe in their abstract identity, you are trying to kill them or something.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's what I'm saying in my mind. Just, who cares what she thinks? She's not dating you. You don't have to care what she thinks. Instead, no, this is your entire life. You're entirely focused on this lecturer because she said she doesn't believe you're a woman. You're totally sane, I'm sure. Anyway, so they move on and they say, but guess what? We are not up for debate. We cannot be reasoned out of existence.
You don't need to tell us that.
I love it. We are not up for I know. It's evident what you are. And we will not let people try to. Reasoned out of existence. I don't need to. Just observe you and we can see. They camouflage their transphobia and academic language in fake feminism. It's not real feminism. In reasonable concerns. I love that. The damn people and their reasonable concerns. Anyway, and they suffer. And then we suffer in real material consequences of it. Can't point to them.
No
mentions of where this has happened.
But quite literally everything they've appealed to is immaterial.
Yes.
If anyone is the materialist, it's Kathleen Stock, because she's actually referring to matter quite literally.
But they could argue philosophically, like, oh, they don't believe in our paradigm, therefore she's immaterially harming us, which still doesn't make any sense in the liberal world, but whatever, that's their viewpoint. But material consequences. Name them if they're material.
Yeah.
Can point to them. You got kicked out of the university for being trans? No, you didn't. Anyway, moving on. So the University of Sussex has continued to employ Stock. Oh, the bastards. Her rhetoric has contributed to the dire state of unsafety for trans people in this colonial S-word hole. The university is a S-hole, as Trump would say about Haiti. Because, they have a lady on there that disagrees with them. Okay. Whilst she profits from transphobia. I love the idea that she's just doing this job for the money. Like, the amount of vitriol and professional risk you take in saying, I don't agree with the insane cultists who run this country. But no, she's doing it for money. Like, you think it's less profitable to do that? I mean, like, if she became a diversity hire in the NHS, she'd get 200 grand.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd be better off doing that. Anyway, so they say, we've effing had enough. We are anonymous. Okay, all right. We are an anonymous, unaffiliated group of queer, trans, and non-binary students. Anonymous.
Yeah, you could spot them from a mile off, couldn't you, most likely?
Like, go to the lecture and see if you can figure out which one's the queer, trans, non-binary student. I think it might be obvious.
Yeah.
Anyway, our demand is simple. Fire Kathleen Stock. Until then, you'll see us around.
Oh.
So, what are they going to do? Well, what can they do? I mean, literally nothing will stop them ideologically. She is literally trying to kill them. She's threatening their very existence. Well, therefore, what are you justified in doing if someone's threatening you with lethal force? Lethal force. This is the argument. I mean, if you think that someone is trying to kill you, philosophically, well, then you have the right to do whatever you want. And this is how this ends up leading to terrorism. And I think that is where it's going to keep on going if they don't step down on it. And I did have a good update on this, which is the University of Sussex has released a statement, which is weird, but I'd say it's okay. So they say, we are extremely concerned to see the harassment towards our staff member and took immediate action in response to this, which continues. Makes me wonder about that guy who hid his tweets. I think he may have had a word had with him. We are deeply committed to being a safe and inclusive university. Stock rhetoric. Anyway, so our role as a university is to facilitate complex discussions to advance shared understanding and a common agreement. We insist that they are carried out respectfully without bullying or harassment. We will always take swift action when this occurs. Good. I mean, at least the wording there does seem to be that we agree that debate should take place.
Almost sounds like a university actually committed to the pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah, if you try and threaten the staff, you're in the wrong, not the staff. You freak. But anyway, so that's good there. But there's another case going on right now. So if we go on to the Exeter pro-life group, so this is another situation in which we have people trying to send death threats to people who dare to disagree with them. So this is a group, Exeter Students for Life. And take a guess. They think abortion bad because it's murder, you're murdering babies, and all babies are sacred because God made them. I mean, literally, quote from them, we're all made in God's image, so all lives inherently have value regardless of their stage in development. Very, very basic. I mean, nothing radical, very stock, run-of-the-mill, let's say conservative viewpoint on abortion. Now, this is fascism. Gotta shut this down. Anyway, so let's go on to the next one. So we get the next link up. Exeter University Anti-Abortion Society sparks outrage and death threats. They got death threats for setting up a campus society that just says, yeah, I don't think abortion is right. I think people shouldn't be able to abort babies. Okay. So a petition has been launched to eradicate the society and already has reached 3,000 signatures. Many have fears that the group is, quote, a direct attack on women's rights.
Oh, good Lord.
Women don't already have the right to abort anything they want in this country.
Of course not.
Nor do they have anywhere on earth. Because, I mean, there's the thing. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion on the abortion argument, but it's, as Ben Shapiro says, a very simple argument. It's, is it murder, is it not? And if it's not, go ahead. If it's murder, then we make it illegal. And the debate is between whether or not it's life of conception or some period beyond that. And everyone agrees, except from the fringe lunatics, that at the point of birth, like the day before, there's somewhere in between those two things we can agree on, surely. So the idea that having restrictions on abortion at all is somehow some kind of restriction on women's rights, they already don't have absolute ability to kill anything in their womb.
No.
We agree after some level of weeks, and I'm probably somewhere in some level of weeks is probably where it should be, just in case people are wondering. But anyway, I kind of think of like it's funny to just take the extremist conservative position on this though, because the way they talk about it. So the creators of the petition, which has been signed by more than 3,000 people, said university must be a safe space for healthy debate, a place where intellectual curiosity is able to flourish and people are able to turn and learn and develop their opinions. However, love that. I love free speech, but people disagree with me. By allowing the existence of a society based around an opinion, that belief is shielded from the necessary scrutiny that would normally occur. I don't know what the hell that means.
No, I was going to say.
It doesn't make any sense. So it is especially alarming when this society has adopted such controversial and harmful point of view, a view which is a direct attack on women's rights. So because they disagree, again, they are causing harm. Speech is violence. The rhetoric never ends. Now remember, these people don't stay on university. As we demonstrated in the first segment, they went straight to the Labour Party, and then in the second segment, straight into industry, because these people never die.
Raising a moral issue is a direct attack on women's rights.
Yes.
Right.
Debating me is an attack.
That's that. Yeah, that sounds like where we are.
Yes. Continuing with this. So according to the World Health Organization, 22,800 women a year die from botched abortions. So this is their reasoning as to why speech is violence. That women die of botched abortions. They don't say whether or not all of these abortions were illegal or legal, because of course you can still die from a legal abortion. These are much lower, of course, but not included that data. This is a direct result of those who wish to perpetuate the fallacy that no woman really wants an abortion, or that to have an abortion is comparable to murder. It is. That's why it's illegal beyond a certain number of weeks in every country on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that you compare it to murder, yes, everyone on the planet, in any legislature on Earth, as far as I'm aware, has said that, yeah, that is murder, but they say it's beyond these weeks, it's murder.
Yeah.
But okay, they want it to the point of birth then, presumably, because I don't know where else that leads you. If you can never say that abortion is murder at any point, well, where's the limit? Anyway, so not only is the existence of a society based around a single issue intellectually reductive, who cares? I'll set up a knitting society if I want to. That's intellectually reductive. Okay, I'm going to toss what you think. It was undoubtedly exacerbate the pre-existing stigmas around abortion, such as shame and self-loathing. Maybe you should. Maybe abortion is a bad.
Maybe there are more reasons behind that shame and self-loathing. Maybe it kind of refers to the nature of the act somewhat.
It's almost like we shouldn't celebrate abortions. Like, even if, as someone who agrees that they should be available, we shouldn't celebrate them. They're necessary evil. The Hillary Clinton safe, legal, rare. The rare part, acknowledging that this is a bad, but it's a necessary bad.
Yeah.
If we move away from that, then that leads you to where these people are arguing, which is to the point of birth. So Alicia Garces Torbati, I don't know how to say that, president of Exeter University Students for Life, said, as a society, we speak up for and take a stand for the rights of preborn children, 200,000 of which lose their lives to abortion every year in this country. Again, I mean, so like basic stock rhetoric. That's why I'm surprised the like, we must destroy this society at all costs. So if we go on, we have Exeter Law Society as an example of people who butt hurt, and there were loads and loads of tweets I found, but we're not going to go through them because it's just random people, so who cares about that. But the Law Society here giving a statement, so this represented everyone on campus from the Law Department, or the Law Society as people are signed up. So by offering affiliation to this group, the goals of being radically inclusive and empowering are thrown into disrepute. They write, I don't care. No one cares about that. I love how they say like it's written into the charter of the university. Therefore, if they ever do anything that's non-leftist, that's them attacking their own charter. It's like, yeah, it's almost if writing that into every charter in the country was a bad idea. Tony Blair. I mean, you remember, I think it was every public institution under Tony Blair was subsequently made to sign up to the, equality, diversity standards.
That's right.
Wording. So, it's almost like we should get rid of that, conservatives. So, Chad, yes. Having no standards is not a virtue. Don't know why anyone has to say that. We pose the question, they say, how are women to feel safe on campus with this regressive, misogynistic, and counterproductive ideal being endorsed?
Oh, dear.
The idea that they say all abortions are murder, the Christian group, but you already agree, surely, that some abortions are murder. Otherwise, where are you arguing that it should be done till birth? Yeah, so I love the idea that, like, oh no, shame for baby killing. Can't have that on campus. Anyway, so moving on from this, we go to the Free Speech Union, who I want to give a big shout out to, because in both of these stories, they have been notified and made themselves known. So we've been watching it like a hawk. And this is why I think people should sign up for the Free Speech Union as well, because they're just good guys. Like, these issues go across every wing of politics, but not wokists, because they're the ones who never get hit by the law, let's say. But the guys are always here to step in and protect people to not be socially destroyed or legally destroyed. So they say in here, we've offered our assistance and are pleased to say that Exeter Guild have put out a good statement defending freedom of speech on campus. Again, the connections to be able to call up the university and be like, hey, we're the Free Speech Union. What's your opinion on this? And they're like, oh, crap. There's not just the pressure of the left hitting them. It's then you've got an organization standing for liberal principles as well. So the statement from Exeter Guild, we support freedom of speech. We are committed to the principle that both debate and deliberation should not be suppressed. And they say, well done, Exeter Guild. We need to see much, in big caps, more of this attitude in higher education. Absolutely. And again, this is why I keep bigging them up as being like, look, they can actually get stuff done.
Yeah, well, they're an actual effective counterweight to the student union.
Yeah, on a huge social level, as example by this, but also on a legal level, as example by some of the laws that are passing through. So if we go to the next one here, we can have The Guardian, who are very mad. What are they mad about? The effects of people standing up for free speech in law. Free speech bill gives legal protection to hate speech, say Labour. Chad, yes, it's called free speech, you communist. Can't you know the reference. Yeah. Anyway, so you get these people who are very mad that someone's going to come on campus and say something that's edgy, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of the point in the university. We're here to have debates about edgy things. Don't have to agree with everyone I ever listen to because I'm not an NPC, unlike some people. Anyway, so there's that. If we go to the next one as well, I want to give a mention to the bill itself, which apparently is, I think it's at the report stage. If you scroll down, you can see it's in the parliamentary bill. So it's still bumbling around in there, and I will give props to Gavin Williamson. A lot of people don't like him for a lot of reasons, but this one I think he did a good job on, and so deserves praise. And that's going through, and will be end up going through. There are a lot of hawkish eyes on that. For example, I get emails from the Free Speech Union regularly because I'm signed up as a member, and they're telling us, like, we gave evidence here, we're working with people here. Great guys. But also the university terrorists. They will stop at nothing. I don't think they have any limits philosophically.
Well, they can't do.
So they will just continue. And it's good to see a nice story here where I can lay out, like, yeah, university, horrible situation happening there with a bunch of social justice warriors or university social terrorists there. But we actually have a effective combating organization pushing them back.
Yeah.
and defending the rights of the people to just say things.
And it would allow universities to be, by extension, universities, sources
Yes.
of learning.
Instead of daycares.
If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast, The Lotus Eaters, you can catch the full podcast at 1 p.m. every weekday UK time at lotuseaters.com. You can also sign up at lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site.
Yeah, that's how we keep this whole operation running. And recently we've put up loads of great stuff, such as this interview with legendary comedian Steve Hughes, one of my personal favourite comedians, so it was a real honour to be able to meet him. But one thing that I didn't expect, that he would be such a deep thinker, and this podcast is genuinely like a meeting of minds in a way. He was right on my wavelength on a bunch of things and helped me actually connect a bunch of dots, but I'm not going to carry on and spoil it. We also, of course, have lots of interesting articles that have been written, such as this one by Josh about the dumbest country on earth. And for premium, for silver tier subscribers, we also include a link, so it's we have an audio reading of it from a chap called Jonathan, who has a very smooth voice that you will enjoy. And this is great because often I don't have time to read all of the articles we put up, because we've put up a lot of regular content, and so this saves me the hassle of having to read it myself. So I really actually am very appreciative of this feature on a personal level. But we also do the Contemplations and Epochs, which are just interesting podcasts about interesting things. These are regular weekly podcasts. So this one is one of our writers, Josh, he's got a master's degree in psychology, talking about theories of intelligence and how they matter. And of course, we've got the Epochs, where myself and Bo, or in this case it was Josh and Bo, talking about the life of Sir Francis Drake. So that's 2 solid hours talking about England's most notorious adventurer. But we've also got lots and lots of other ones. This is number 21, so there's a good back catalogue there. And finally, we have our book clubs, and this is the part that I'm most proud of. Recently, we've done Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell, and
Reflections on a Ravaged Century by Robert Conquest.
yeah, Robert Conquest is fantastic. Just if you want Western chauvinist historian, he's your man.
Anti-socialism.
Yes,
Very
in all forms, it's fantastic. So yeah, and like I said, that's what keeps the podcast running. So if you want to become a member, thank you very much, and we think there's some great stuff you'll enjoy.